torsdag kväll är det alltså dags för returmatchen i Europa League. Arsenal mot Östersunds FK här på Emirates Stadium i norra delarna utav London. Underläge 0-3 alltså. Det är en tuff uppgift som väntar ÖFK ute på Emirates denna torsdag kväll alltså. Men vi ska se träning och vi ska höra presskonferensen. Häng med in, vet jag. Oj, nu måste vi hem.
Okay, welcome to this press conference with the Östersund Football Club head coach and vice captain Saman Ghoddos. We'll start with Saman, so let him go to the changing room and we'll continue with Graham. And yes, start with questions to Saman Ghoddos.
You got some praise again from Arsene Wenger that he was very impressed by your performance and react to that.
I was really happy, of course. It's a big honor that a big coach like him liked the way I play, but for me, I know I can do better, so I'm interested in what he's going to say after this game.
Samman, hur har ni laddat om i veckan och känner er revanschsugna?
Of course, we have trained as good as always, but it's a tough game. It was already a tough game at home, and it's going to be even tougher now, but we are ready for it.
After the last game, you said that you maybe had too much respect for the Arsenal players. Do you feel that that is going to be different this time?
Maybe we have to have respect for Arsenal because it's another level, but maybe not too much and maybe not too little, but enough respect.
How much do you guys believe in the miracle here?
We have to believe it. We're not just here to take part, but of course we are here to enjoy ourselves, and we believe that we can win.
What's it feel like coming to a Premier League ground? I imagine you've been outside already. What does it feel like?
It's wonderful. For me, it's like a dream.
You talked a lot about courage before. That's both Potter and the players. That's one of the biggest assets when you face teams like this. One of you talked about the players to succeed and use that courage. Because the last game you were maybe a little bit nervous in the beginning, or you had some problems.
Yeah, maybe, but it's a confidence that we get from Graham that we believe in ourselves and we know that we are good players and that we can play against every team. And in the other games we showed a really good standard that we can play against everybody. It felt like that. But the last game, in the first 25 minutes, it wasn't so good, and we were maybe too nervous and maybe showed too much respect. But after that, I think that in some moments we were really good, and we have to keep on doing that.
What do you think of the level of Arsenal from the first match? Was it the same as Athletic Club, or was it a higher level than before?
I think it was a level higher than before.
Can I ask someone in Persian language and ask him to answer in Persian?
ولی سخته برای من.
خیلی خوب حرف میزنه فارسی نه؟ سامان شما تیمتون تیمای بزرگ شکست داده هرتا برلین بردین بیبار بردین ولی تو بازی رفت خیلی نتیجه خوب نگرفتین. چقدر امیدواری که این بازی ببرین و با توجه به اینکه آرسن ونگر هم ازت تعریف کرده چقدر امیدواری که با گلایی که بتونین ببرین؟
خیلی خوشحالم که خوب حرف زد ولی الان که با آرسنال بازی کردیم یک ذره سخت‌تر بود که بازی کردیم با گلاتاسرای. این تیم ما یک ذره خوبتر بودن ولی که ما الان سعی میکنیم که ما هنوز ببریم. ما که نیومدیم اینجا که ببازیم ولی میخوایم سعی کنیم که خوب که بلدیم بازی کنیم اینجا بازی کنیم.
More questions to Saman? Okay. Can you come to the changing room?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Questions to Mr. Potter, Fredrik?
Graham, injury-wise, how is the squad doing? How is the kid doing?
He's got a swollen eye. He's going to train tonight, so we'll see how he is. It's better than it was, but he's had to wear sunglasses all day. It doesn't look so good. So we'll see how he is. Sophie will train again. Sophie will train today, but we'll see how he is as well. He's had a sore hamstring, so we're not sure how he can respond. Apart from that, just again, same longer term, Yuan, not quite ready, and Andrew Mills as well. So apart from that, everybody's okay.
Looking back at the first 25 minutes in the first match, what went wrong? What did you learn? And did you suffer from not playing matches in the winter? How much?
What went wrong? What went wrong? I think we met a good team with some good players that tested us in terms of our defensive line ended up being too deep too soon. The whole team. And then as a result of that, we had too short attacks. We didn't have enough. We were probably a little bit stressed more than we normally would be as a result of the occasion, as a result of the fact that we're a little bit deeper than we would normally like to be. Too short attacks, which means you turn the ball over again. At the same time, when you analyse it a little bit, it wasn't as bad as you think. In terms of we had a couple of turnover moments that we didn't really go away. I think the free kick that wasn't a free kick, for example, Mustafi comes and sort of wipes Saman out. So those are little things you maybe need just to get yourself up the pitch. We didn't get. At the same time, we contributed to that as well ourselves. And then we sort of, I think, contributed to the first goal ourselves from some mistakes, which makes it all seem a bit worse than actually it is. The reality of it is when you're playing against the side of the quality that Arsenal had on the night, you're going to have to understand that you're going to have to defend at some periods in the game. That's normal. Not just for us to Sund, but for lots of teams better than us to Sund. So we have to sort of accept that or get used to that in a way, and stay in the game. So that's, I think, what went wrong and what we learned as well. What was the third point?
Do you suffer from not playing matches during the winter? How much?
It's not a suffer, but it's a challenge. So we can't complain about anything. You know, our situation is where it is. You can't complain if you're a Scandinavian team in the last 32 Europa League. It is what it is. So we can't use that as an excuse, but of course it's a challenge. But you know, I'm sure we've had advantages throughout the tournament in other areas as well. So we tried our best. We played a team that is, when you look at the starting 11, regularly competing in the Premier League. So again, the level that they play at is higher than the level that we play at, even in our competitive season. So all those factors, I think, contribute to the start of the match. And then from that, like I said, after the game, okay, you set that at that point, at 25 minutes, you're thinking this could be a long evening and it could be a big score. Because you see it in Europe a lot, big scores go in. But the players responded really well. And that's the thing I was obviously really proud of.
And if you look at, in terms of needing a miracle, do you look at something like Wigan and Manchester City on Monday night? Is that something that could inspire you and players?
It's what, sorry?
The Wigan Man City FA Cup result the other night. Is it those kind of games that can inspire you and players that miracles can happen?
Yeah, we probably need a bigger miracle because it was 0-0 at the start of that game. It's 3-0 to them. So of course, it's an inspiration in terms of it can happen. You can win games, but we're away. They were at home. We're coming to the Emirates. It's as tough a place as anywhere in world football, I think, for the away team. Can be. So from us, we're looking at it that we want to play well. We want our performance to be good. We want to finish the match in a good way. Be proud of what we've done, because we should be proud of what we've done. And then we want to try and win the match. And then, okay, from there we're into miracle territory. That's the next stage, but I think it's wrong for us to go the other way around.
Is that the original plan when you come here? Is tomorrow heads held high, positive result?
I think no matter what the result is, we'll leave with our head high, because 7 years ago I left here from Heathrow to come to a club that was in the 4th tier of Swedish football, and now we'll leave with 5,000 supporters from Östersund watching us play against Arsenal in the last 32 of the Europa League. So we've got a lot to be proud of, but of course we're sports people and we want to win the game, and it's not about being a gallant loser. We want to try our best to learn from what we did in the first game, to try to play well in this match, and then to try to win. We've got to this point where we've approached that way, but as in any game of football, you can of course lose, and you have to respect the game for that. But we want to try and do our best and make the 5,000 supporters proud of their team.
Graham, Pressträff from ITV Yorkshire. I imagine coming back here takes you back to looking at this lecture theatre style room to your time at Leeds Met. Could you believe how far you've come in this short period of time?
No, not really, to be honest with you. Like I said, 7-8 years ago I was at Leeds Met, working with the students there. I think we were playing the 9th tier at that point. You know, great experiences, fantastic learning environment there, wonderful people. And then you start on this journey. It's quite sort of poignant. My sort of family will be here at this game. You realise where we've come from, and now we're sort of critiquing a match between Östersund and Arsenal in a competition, European competition. It's amazing.
Given that you're known for putting your players out of their comfort zone, are there any techniques that you've employed to try and help them cope with the atmosphere at the Emirates?
No, not really. The thing that the only thing we've got is our experiences that we've had through this competition. You know, Galatasaray, PAOK down in Greece, Athletic Club Bilbao, Hertha Berlin, that sort of environments that are challenging. I don't think you can put anything on just for a particular match. It has to be part of a long-term process if you're working with developing the human being, the individual. So you can't just come up with a gimmick, because otherwise everybody's doing it to try and deal with this environment. The fact is we're playing against a top team at a wonderful, wonderful arena, and we have to try to enjoy it as best we can, but the challenge is you don't enjoy football if you're getting beat and you're losing, so you want to try and be competitive and do as best we can and draw on the experiences that we've had in 2017, which was incredible.
Great. How good is Ross? A lot of people have talked about him. Obviously, Bambi was asked about him before. How good a player is he in your eyes?
Well, he's going to go to the World Cup. He had a choice, I think, between sort of Sweden and Iran. For me, I think he's He's got the attributes to play at any league in football, European football. His best actions are at a really, really high level. He's been a bit of a late developer, I would say, and he's had a real explosion, if you like, certainly in Europe last year. But he's a great lad, fantastic person, great in the dressing room, good team player, but has got a bit of quality that can certainly play in the top leagues.
Is it a case that you have nothing to lose in this game?
I would have thought most people in this room expect us to go out. You know, most people in the world would expect us to go out. You know, that's the reality. So I can't say anything else other than you need one of the biggest football miracles ever to go through. In that respect, we haven't got anything to lose. But again, this is a once-off opportunity. The only thing you've got is the regret of not giving it everything. That's what you've got to lose. You don't want to come off this pitch and think, oh, maybe I wish I'd have done a little bit more, I wish I'd have done something else. You've just got to give it your best and take the motion, the experience, and learn. It's a wonderful opportunity for the players and myself, everybody connected with the club, to have this experience and to learn and see how we can get better.
Is it in those terms that you talk with the players?
Yeah, like I said, what can we learn from the last match? How can we improve? What can we do in this game? How can we sort of test ourselves? Because over the course of the 7 years, we've got to this point by sort of trying to be ourselves and failing, and then this point, I think. And then what happens is at the end of the game, once you've failed, people question why you've done certain things, but you have to fail to get to where we have. So even if we lose, the worst case scenario we lose, and we go out, we'll have learned such a lot from this experience as people, as players, as coaches, as a club. So that's the positive for us.
Okay, training at 7, open for 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Learning from it and trying to go forward. That's how we've got to this point, I think. And then what happens is at the end of the game, once you've failed, people question why you've done certain things, but you have to fail to get to where we have. So even if we lose, the worst case scenario we lose, and we go out, we'll have learned such a lot from this experience as people, as players, as coaches, as a club. So that's the positive for us.
Okay, training at 7, open for 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.